Good morning, Horn Lake High School. Lewis here with Chloe. Notice how awake Chloe is this morning. What time did you wake up? You got to talk louder.
7:16.
7:16 on the button. So your alarm was set for 7:15 and it took you a whole minute to actually come to life.
I just woke up at like 7:40. And I went, not 7:40, 6:40, and I went back to sleep. And 6:50, went back to sleep and slept till 7:16. So.
All right. So Chloe's here. We should just be grateful for that, right?
I guess, yeah.
Do you know what a carousel is? Look at this. First thing in the morning, and I'm already quizzing you.
Are you talking about carousel as in the ride at the carnival?
There you go. The carousel. What does the carousel ride do?
It goes round and round.
Round and round and round. Are you wondering if I have a point to this?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't.
If y'all think that we plan all of this stuff ahead of time, a lot of times I don't, because I want their reaction of not knowing what the heck's going on camera, just like happening right now. On our website, have you ever been on the hornlakehigh.com website? And be honest, because I know the chances are that you have not.
I have.
You have? Have you ever scrolled down?
No.
No. Okay, if you scroll down, Chloe, if you scroll down to the middle of the website, you will find the website's carousel. All right, that was a cue for you to come in with and bring the two things together. But obviously, the thoughts are not. We're not firing on all cylinders yet, because it is 5 till 8, so you're not fully awake. It hasn't been even an hour. You were in bed less than an hour ago.
Yep.
Halfway down our website, there is a carousel. And what happens is there's a lot of information, and it passes round and round and round. So you have to have a little bit of patience, and you have to sit there and you have to watch the carousel, or you can use your mouse and go to the little arrows and file through the information. There's a lot of important information right now on our website, and it's listed in
the carousel.
The carousel. Do y'all hear how excited she is about this? Say it a little bit more enthusiastically.
The carousel.
The carousel. Okay, so I want you to go to hornlakehigh.com and do a little bit of practicing. Pull your phones out or your devices, your computers. Many of you have the new device computers. Actually go and look through the carousel. There's a lot of important information listed right there in the carousel. We have the CTC West applications if you want to go over and be a part of the Career Tech. We have EVTV applications, lots of different things, lots of different information floating around on that carousel. So the whole point of this right now is just to familiarize you, the student body, and the teachers actually, with the carousel, because everybody's always confused about where is that located on the website. Lots of different types of application information is typically sitting in
the carousel.
The carousel. Say it one more time.
No.
I just bought a new whip. Spend a couple thousand just to cruise it. Shawty said she love me, but I swear she'll never prove it. I never tell her, but I put it in the music. Well, that's okay. All I wanna do is make the best of my whole day. Thank the Lord up above, get the cream on the side, make you laugh to know it. That's the stuff that I love, la da da da. We can be friends if you wanna. We could just talk if you wanna. We could hold hands if you wanna. Hey, tell me what you wanna do. We could just laugh if you
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Friday, February 5th, 2021. I'm Emma, and it's College Week here on EVTV. This week we're focusing on college life and detailed information to help inform you about education post-high school and the decisions you need to be considering right now. Today we're going to take a look at the various college expenses and what to expect financial-wise.
I guess go ahead and tell me a little bit about some of the cost of college and what students can expect.
Okay, so each college will break down cost of college into different categories. So you'll have direct costs and indirect costs. So your direct costs are your tuition, your room and board, your residence hall. So those things that are actually billed to your student account at the college. Your indirect costs will typically be categorized as a personal expense category, miscellaneous and transportation. You see it categorized different things at schools, but that actually adds up for students. That can mean anything from paying for your laundry to get done in the dorm. It could mean that maybe you're going to go out to eat in town with your friends one night, and so your meal plan's not going to cover that bill. Maybe it means you're going to take a trip on spring break. You may have lab fees if you're taking some science classes. You may have to buy a certain uniform if you're in nursing school or some kind of medical professional. You may have to buy some certain clothes that you wear to class. So there are a lot of additional expenses that go into the indirect costs that aren't billed to your student account necessarily, but will go into the expense you need to factor in. It could be as simple as going to the athletic games. Maybe you have to pay for football tickets, or you've got to pay for, parking when you go over to the basketball game or something like that.
Right. So it's a pretty daunting task for students to try to figure out exactly what it's going to cost. What would be the best way for a student to go about that?
Okay, so each school is required to break down those indirect costs as an estimate, which I mentioned. So you'll see that included in their cost of attendance.
So by law, they're supposed to have that listed somewhere.
They should have it listed somewhere. It's estimated. It's not necessarily the most accurate information that you can find. They may estimate that living in town costs this many $1,000s, where you could do it cheaper with more roommates. So it's just a guiding light. It's not the end all be all for students, but we tell them in the cost of attendance, you see the tuition, you see the books, you see the residence hall, and then you will see a line item that will range. Like I said, it's usually called miscellaneous, personal and transportation, other expenses, and it can range anywhere. Some schools it's $2,000. I've seen it up to $8,000 at schools. So when you're looking at the full cost of attendance, a student will panic and think, that's a lot of money that I've got to write a check for. And it's important to remember for students, it does add to your bill. That's an expense that those costs will make college more expensive for you. But just like they can make it more expensive, they also can make it cheaper. So if you're looking at that final line item on the cost of attendance, you have to remember that miscellaneous number is not something that you actually write a check for to the school. Okay. So if you don't want to go on spring break, if you don't have these extra fees, if maybe your athletic tickets are covered with your tuition, those fees may not be there for you, or they may not be there in full. So they may be budgeted at $8,000, and for you it's only $2,000. So that's something, that number varies heavily by the student and by their family.
So the college tries to guesstimate what it would be to try to comply, to make sure they're complying with
It's
the law.
Very much an average, very much this is what we are anticipating that your extra fees, your extra expenses, things may add up. You may have to buy some extra study tools, some extra books. You may buy some ACT, or test prep books or whatever for certain classes. So it's just an estimate, but it is not anything that's set in stone. You're going to turn around and write a check to the student's financial account at the office that manages all of their money. It's not anything billed to their account typically, unless it is things like your parking pass, your athletic tickets, things like that they can swipe your student ID and charge your account for. But obviously your school supplies and your clothes and scrubs and lab fees, things like that may go into account as well.
Okay, the vocabulary word of the day I mentioned earlier, bursar, and you said a lot of high school students don't know what it is. To be honest with you, a lot of adults don't know what that is.
Right.
So explain that person to me.
Okay, that's the person that's managing your account. So it's essentially at the school, kind of like your bank. So that's the person that's charging your account with the charges that are placed on the account. It's also the person that's taking payment. So if you're on some kind of payment plan, or your family's on a payment plan, or any kind of credits come into your account. So maybe you have a scholarship of $1,000, and that $1,000 gets credited to your account, reducing the balance that you owe the school. So that office is responsible for sending out your monthly bills, sending out your statements, letting you know if anything's on your account. Because as you probably know from your time in school, if something is on your account and it gets time to register for the next semester's classes, they won't let you register and make a schedule until that account's cleared. So you may think, I'm ready to go sign up for classes, and in reality, maybe you got a parking ticket for $15 or so. If you can find a parking ticket as cheap as $15, more power to you. But you've got to go clear that up and get that account cleared before they'll let you make a class schedule for the next semester. So they just are in charge of making sure you can see your account at any time, what credits, what charges are there.
Is that an office that a student can contact even ahead of time before going to college with any possible questions?
They can, and a lot of times you'll see it rolled into maybe the student's financial aid office, so it's sometimes operating out of the same place. Not every school refers to it by the same thing, but usually it's account services, it's students' accounts, it's student affairs services. So you'll find it in different places, but a lot of times it does operate pretty closely with the financial aid office because they're processing the student aids awards and their scholarships as well. Even admissions are sometimes processing scholarships. So a student's credit in their account can actually be involving multiple departments at the university because everybody's got something to credit or charge.
Okay, here at the Get to College Center, y'all are tasked with assisting students with any kind of help that they need as far as getting ready for college. What do y'all typically tell a student to be prepared for? Let's just pick a school, let's say one of the state schools here in Mississippi. What should students really be preparing for? Let's say they're a sophomore or a junior now, because I know there's also expenses that a lot of people don't take into consideration, like let's just say transportation, for instance. What should students be preparing for before college as far as financially? What do they need to be doing? Obviously filling out scholarships, but beyond that, what would you tell? What advice would you give them?
Definitely filling out scholarships. They should probably come meet with us as well and do one-on-one appointments. We're also in the schools often, but you'll see this sheet sitting right in front of me that it's called "What is college going to cost?" So it's got the tuition, room, and board. That's easy. You know, students are used to comparing that. But then it's got all these factors of things I maybe am not thinking about, so I need to compare. And so it lets them actually make a personal budget and see the real line item here. And then that usually wakens them up to, oh, this is going to be about $20,000 a year to head to a state school here in Mississippi. So where's that money coming from? So if it does anything, it at least motivates them to start working on ACT and getting those grades up so that they can get academic scholarships. And then once they get those academic scholarships, they're like, what am I going to qualify for in need-based aid? I need to start figuring that out. And so they start adding up the things that they have and figuring out ways to get more scholarships. Maybe I'm going to work a summer part-time job and save that, and that's going to pay for my sorority and fraternity dues, which again, another cost that people don't think about. Maybe I'm going to put aside the money for my books or whatever it may be, but it'll just motivate them, especially at that sophomore, junior level that you mentioned. They've still got some time in high school. They've got time to get those grades up, get the ACT up. The more scholarship money you can get, that's just free money rewarding you for things you've already done. So get that up. And then all the money that you and your family have maybe set aside can go towards some of these extra expenses that you weren't necessarily factoring in.
Right. Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And again, they can come see us at any time here in the center and make an appointment where we sit down and talk about all of this one-on-one. We talk about their personal timeline, things they personally need to be doing once we've met with the individual student and get a sense of where they are and where they're planning to go.
Today, we also wanted to take a moment to give you a special tour of the Delta Technical Center right here at Horn Lake.
Apply for our schools, you have to have your high school diploma or a GED, a photo ID, and your parents' tax returns for financial aid purposes. It's a full service salon. They take outside customers every single day so the students can actually make money as they're in class. They actually start in the freshman lab. They're in the freshman lab usually 6 to 8 weeks before they get out on the floor because, I mean, you can't have them working on people when they don't know what they're doing. So they're in there, then they get on the floor. They get a full kit with everything they need for the course. They get to take everything with them as well. This is the aesthetics room. This is where they do facials, waxings, basic massage. They do spray tan. You see makeup over here. And also right here, this is the main floor. That's the dispensary. That's where they have all their chemical and everything they need for the course. They come in, check it out, just talk to them, and they'll give them whatever they need for the course. Over here, they have washouts, pedicures, manicures. They do out over here. We also do hair shows. That's why the stage is here. So we'll have a whole group of people. The whole community usually comes, and we'll have hair shows in here as well. Just a heating and air lab. That cosmetology course, it's a year long for daytime and a year and a half, a little less than a year and a half for nighttime. The heating and air is 9 months long. It also has major appliance repair in it. If you look over here, this is everything you see in here the students have made and built. This is our electric side of the kitchen. This is our gas side of the kitchen. They learn to fix refrigerators, washers, dryers, ovens, stoves, dishwashers, garbage disposals, anything like that. All the equipment you see in here, you can tell it's old. The reason it's old, new stuff doesn't break. So, I mean, if you see everything, they tear everything apart and they put them all back together as well. This is our mock house here. They built this. They teach you to run your box from the outside of the house into the inside of your house. If you come in here, they teach you to put in windows. It's a lot more than just heating and air. Put up drywall, thermostats, your digital ones and the old school ones along the top. There's a little Mitsubishi units, they're real big overseas. They teach you to put in those. A lot of our guys, they get in jobs in apartment buildings and they'll pay for them to live for free, but they fix everything. But you'll do 2 hours in here, then 2 hours in the lab every day. Mr. Sean?
What's up?
This is Mr. Sean Allen. He's one of our instructors here.
Hey guys.
This is Mr. Matt. He's one of our instructors as well. Up here, the reason this is cut out, it's totally different if you're working on it out, on the floor. This is actually an attic where it does have a unit where they put it in there. They work on it in there just like if you're at someone's house. This is dental assisting. It's also 9 months long. It's 4 hours a day. They do 2 in the lab and 2 in the classroom. One good thing about our dental program is they learn digital x-rays, also as the old school x-rays, and they teach them how to develop them as well. This is our welding lab. We have over 60 different booths in here. As you can see, it's self-ventilated, so when all the guys and ladies are in here, there's not a lot of smoke and debris everywhere. They get their own booth. They can put their tools in here. They get all the tools they need for the course, and they get to take everything they get from us with them as well. Back here is our grinding stations along each wall. You can see we have our grinding station set up. We have 6 different stations on each side. These are our band saws that use to cut the carbon pipe, as you can see that's laying on the ground right there. Back here, everything you see in here, the whole lab, the students welded together, the students made. This is just completed for our electrical program. Everything you see, the students put together, they made the blueprints and they put it all together and built it, welded it together. As you see over there, pipe fitting and pipe welding is huge right now in the United States. That's a bevel pipe welder. It's actually cutting it as he's turning it by itself. Over here is a bevel plate welder as well. They'll get a piece of plate that's used for like armored vehicles. They'll put it on there and go across. It'll cut a 45-degree angle. They'll take it over and they'll grind it down to smooth it up. This is our pipe welding rack. They just finished this. North and South Dakota, Texas, on the coast is huge pipe welding and pipe fitting right now. That's why these guys finished this, and that's why, it's huge right now. This is a welding classroom. Like I said, it's 5 hours a day. They're in here an hour out of the day. They can get 8 certifications and an OSHA certification. This is a medical assistant classroom. It's also 9 months long, 4 hours a day, 2 in the classroom and 2 in the lab. We have an 8 to 1, a 10 to 2, and a 6 to 10 in this class. This is the lab. This is set up as the front house, the office. That's the front of the house and the doctor's office. They do everything in the doctor's office. They come around here. Let's see what they're working on today. They're working on pricks today, it looks like, drawing blood.
Right here.
They can also get their phlebotomy license in here as well. Instead of having to take it at a different, totally different, they get phlebotomy here as well. Because a lot of people, when they leave here, that's all they do is just draw blood. It's our electrical lab. Mr. Marvin, you want to come? He's the director of our program. This is Mr. Marvin Blunt.
All right, we got a electrical program here at Delta. Our program is a year, 1 year, and right now this is our electrical lab. One of them, we got 2 labs here. This is where we got the students working on doing a little troubleshooting and running some wiring here, and this is actually the way it is out on the job site, out in the field. And we got some students over here getting a little book learning over here too. We got Mr. Jim Smith over there, which is one of our instructors over there. We have 2 classes going in the daytime and 1 at night for the students who work during the day and come to class at night. Our morning classes are from 8 to 1. Our afternoon classes are from 5:30 to 10.
This is our CDL program. We have a 20-day course, which is a cash pay. We also have a 20-week course, which we have full financial aid available. But we have a track that's in Memphis, and they actually go and they drive all around Memphis, all around the track, and get their CDL license. The only thing is, you cannot drive outside of state until you're 21 years old. So if you're a high school student, we can still find you a job. You just can't drive outside of state boundaries.
Fannie Lou Hamer was born on October 6, 1917 in Montgomery County, Mississippi. She was born Fannie Lou Townsend to parents that were sharecroppers. In 1944, she married Perry Pap Hamer and became involved in the Civil Rights Movement. In 1964, she helped found the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party that encouraged African Americans to register to vote. Ms. Hamer brought the civil rights struggle in Mississippi to the attention of the entire nation during a televised session at the Democratic National Convention. She was there to protest Mississippi's all-white delegation to the convention. It was there that she coined the phrase, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired."
Today's featured vocabulary word is depict. Show or represent. Used in a sentence, the drawings on the cave walls depict the lives of the earliest men on the planet. It's now time for today's announcements. Pay attention, we're moving fast. Students, letter jackets will be available to order starting Monday. You must see your coach for the order form. Jackets must be ordered on February 17th with a $100 deposit. Career Tech applications are now available on our website, hornlakehigh.com. Career Tech is open to freshmen and sophomores in a 2-year program with some of the most state-of-the-art facilities in the county. Application process is open for the next few weeks. Students, Eagle Vision is now accepting applications for next year's cast. You can apply by logging into our school website, hornlakehigh.com, and clicking the application link in the center of the page on the carousel. You can also find the application of our website, www.hornlaketv.com. The Early Childhood Education class is now recruiting for next year. Applications may be picked up in C8. The Early Childhood Education class works directly with the preschool class here at Horn Lake High. Contact Ms. Rook for more information. That's it for today's episode here at Horn Lake. We are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here Monday. Have a fantastic day.
I just bought a new whip. Spend a couple thousand just to cruise it. Shawty said she love me, but I swear she'll never prove it. I never tell her, but I put it in the music. Well, that's okay. All I wanna do is make the best of my whole day. Thank the Lord up above, get the cream on the side, make you laugh to no end. That's the stuff that I love, la da da da. We can be friends if you wanna. We could just talk if you wanna. We could hold hands if you wanna. Hey, tell me what you wanna do. We could just laugh if you wanna. Late nights under stars if you wanna. We could just kiss if you wanna. Hey, tell me what you wanna do. It's like the story of my life. Best friends, but we rockin' all the same things. Say you need me, but you really tryna change lanes. Well, I don't even care. Live my life, I don't battle with no fear. Fighting dragons, always been a real one. Hate you saying showing love, you a real chameleon. Get the facts freaking straight, always on repeat. Like, we could be friends if you wanna. We could just talk if you wanna. We could hold hands if you wanna. Hey, tell me what you wanna do. We could just laugh if you wanna. Late nights under stars if you wanna. We could just kiss if you wanna. Hey, tell me what you wanna do.